This is People I Know Show, a podcast about interesting people, personal growth, and being wrong. I'm Curt Carstensen. This is episode 34, and my guest for this episode is Hodan Nur. Hodan is on the podcast because she's impacted me by just being who she is. The first Somali woman that I've ever really gotten to know. One of the first Somali people I've ever gotten to know. And really one of the first Muslim people that I've ever gotten to know. And this all transpired while she was pursuing her GED, and I was one of her tutors beginning a couple years ago. She recently graduated, got her GED, and I was at that ceremony, and we've reconnected. And I'm having her on the podcast because I feel like if I am just recently having this experience of getting to know someone like her and understanding her better and maybe some other people from where she's from, I feel like maybe you haven't had this experience yet. If you've had, then maybe you can relate. And if you had it, I'm happy to have this conversation to maybe learn a little bit about someone from a different place. Hodan's been in this country about 20 years. But the education process was not quick for her. She came here with no English, basically no education. We talk a lot about that and that process for her and how difficult it was and how rewarding it seemed to be as she has gotten closer and finally achieving her GED, which is like a high school diploma. Let's get into the conversation with Hodan Nur. I'm joined today by Hodan Nur. Hello, Hodan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And I made a realization very recently, like basically within the last 24 hours, that although during some of the episodes of my podcast, and I know you said you listened to one of them yesterday.
Yes.
I have a purpose for this podcast when I have people on, but I don't always express it like every episode constantly. So I think someone listening occasionally might not know, why I'm doing this. So I came up with another phrase that I think best represents what I'm doing, is that I've learned through my life that shared knowledge, ideas, and experiences influence all of us.
Yep.
And there are individuals in my life, especially, that have influenced me, the people I know show. Mm-hmm. And as I was thinking about this project, thinking about people that have influenced me, you are one of them, because in addition to being just a joy to be around, because I enjoy your personality and getting to know you and the opportunities, the few opportunities I've had to get to know you, your life has been, probably still is, so much different than mine. In getting to know you gives me an opportunity to understand people from a different place much better than I ever could have. Yeah. So I want to learn more about you today, and I'm happy that for the listener right now, if they haven't had a chance to know someone from where you're from and the life you live, now they get to know you. So that's why I do this every episode, and I think you are one of the really great examples. So now, how about I start asking you questions and just instead of talking?
Okay.
So Hodan, you and I first met, must have been a year or so ago.
I think 2 years ago.
2 years ago now. So For the last couple of years, I had been and have been a tutor for people studying for the GED, graduate equivalent degree.
Yes.
And the place that I tutor at, you were going for a while, then I think you moved and some different things happened. So I didn't see you much, but I did see you at your graduation. So let's go back to your graduation just a couple of weeks ago from when we recorded this. Tell me about that day. What did it mean to you to get your GED?
Oh my goodness, you don't know that. I never think in my life I will get a GED. I remember like 5 years ago when I was level 6, I asked one of my teacher, hey, do you know how long I'm going to get a GED? And she told me, I think probably 10 years.
10 years.
Yep.
And how many years ago was this? That was
it was
projection?
2013.
So they said 10 years. And it took 6 years.
Yeah. She told me probably 10 years because English is your second language. I don't think so anybody second language, they will get a GED. Maybe if you go to in your home country in school and get in like a private English, maybe it will be easy. But if you start like a bottom one, like in a zero, you don't. When I came to United States, I don't know anything about like A plus, 2 plus 2, I don't know anything. I never go to school in my home country. Like, I started the beginning, but my country get a war and I couldn't pay. It was private. You have to pay. And my family was poor. They don't have money. So coming to United States, I always love education, but I got married when I lived 2 months. Like, it was hard for me at that time. I never focused like education. Like,
So you, in the story of you getting your GED, you touched on a couple things from your life, and I want to. I know you've
Yeah.
told me some of these things, but it's been a while, and since we
Yes.
have the recording here, I want to make sure I capture your story as best I can.
Yes.
So if you're willing to, I don't know if it's proper to ask
Yes,
a
you
woman
can
her
ask me.
her age and different people from different cultures, but I think to understand your story, I need to know how old you are right now.
Oh my God, I'm 45.
You're 45?
Yes.
No, you look way younger than
No.
45. I guess you do have some children that are getting a
Yeah.
little older, so I guess that's realistic, but okay.
Yeah, my daughter, she's going in college in fall, like this year.
So I guess since we brought up your children, you have 6 children. What are
5.
5? Why did I think it was 6?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe there's one you don't know about?
Yes, I hope so. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I have a 5 kid. Yeah,
Okay.
like 4 girl and 1 boy.
Okay.
So coming to United States around like 21 or 22, I could go to school, but in my culture is when you come into United States, you're single. It's not the past. You have to get married and have a families. That it was my back in my head. But when my daughter go to kindergarten, that's why I woke up one day and cry when I was trying to help my daughter homework. I don't know how to write it. I will go each neighborhood and knock their house and tell them, could you know how to write this word? Could you know this word? I feel shame that day, and I decided this is enough, is enough. I have to go back to school and learn English, and that's what I did. But I didn't take seriously, Chris. I was doing like whatever teacher give it to me, and I ask you, anybody I know, could you help me home? I didn't take seriously. I should take seriously the beginning. You know, the mistake I did was just this English, like it don't go like it's like my home country. The way they teach and America how they teach is totally different. So the beginning I was confused.
So learning a different style and a different language, it must be incredibly difficult.
It was hard for me, super hard for me, because my country we put every word in the board. Like the teacher will grab a book, wherever that book she will put in the board, you will take a note, you will write it. Here it's a different. Maybe the teacher will say 2 words, you have to write, you have to remember, you have to. She will give you 20% in the class, but 80% you have to do your own and outside the school.
In the United States.
In United States.
So the pace is slower. And remind me, I know where you're from, but tell me where you're from.
Somali.
You see, you're from
Somali in Africa.
and you lived there until what age?
I lived there until I came to United. I lived there until, I think, until 19 years old.
19 years old. And in those first 19 years, you'd mentioned the war. How much formal education did you have in 19 years?
I didn't have much education.
And
I think less than elementary school. I didn't have nothing.
so how many years might have you gone to a school?
I think I didn't go to school. I learned one of my oldest brother and sisters, because my family didn't afford to pay me a school. I think when I went to kindergarten, I didn't go back.
So there is
Like it's a private,
is
private.
it only private schools in
Yeah.
Somalia, or that time or still?
that time was a public school, but my family didn't put me because my grandma raised me, and my grandma cannot read and cannot write, so I always stay with her. Yeah, she didn't put me anything, so, and I didn't ask her why. I was super young, and then I didn't ask her until we came to United States. Always struggling, like you don't know Africa is if you own if you own a business and something, it's a poor place. Sometimes you struggle how to find a food.
Can you describe your upbringing compared to the people around you? You said that you didn't have a lot of money, but did other people have money?
Yes, other people had the money. They own a business. And some of the family member in maybe in America. Before my mom came to United States, my mom came to me United States before me and my grandma, and my mom sent it to me money like maybe 200 and 100. But we are big families. That big family cannot cover whatever money she sent.
So she would send maybe $100 or $200 a month,
Yes.
but that was for everybody to live on for a month.
Yes.
And prior to her coming to the United States, how would your family make money and get food and survive?
She sent us until I came to like Kenya. I came from Kenya in 1999 because she filed us a visa, me and my grandma. So when we came to in Kenya, she rented 2-bedroom. She rented 2-bedroom, but we are like more than 10 people. How we want to fit 2-bedroom? Like me and my grandma, my cousin, my other cousin, my auntie. She filed a like big sponsor. Sponsor?
Sponsor?
Yeah, she did that. Like my mom did that. She
Sponsored many of you.
Many you, yeah. So we have to sleep together. I remember one room I was sleeping. You don't know that 5 of my cousin, but I put it like what they say. We put it like something they say like a curtain so you cannot see it.
Okay. So you and 5 cousins in one room.
Yes. They can sleep the other side and I can sleep the other side.
Like each individual had a curtain, or was it like male, female? Or how would you do it?
Female, like the female is this side and the male is the other side.
Okay.
So when you go in, you have to you have to sneak.
Sneak?
Yeah, like you have to take out the curtain and go there because your bed is other side. So the light, no turn off light. All night have to be on. It's not dark.
Why did the light have to be on?
That's the rule because it's the man other side is leaving my cousin. I'm sleeping the other side. We say we don't want to turn off the light. They have to be on all night.
And this was in Kenya.
That's the Kenya.
As you were being sponsored to wait to get a visa to come to the United States, and this was about
1999.
So
I stayed 1999 until
20 years ago.
2000 September 21st when I flew to America.
You've been in this country for, I guess that's coming up 19 years in the United States. And have you traveled back?
Yes, I did one time only.
Okay.
I did 2009. I back to my home country. I went to like here to Ethiopia. And I traveled Ethiopia to one of my family member came from to like a car. And I stayed 2 weeks. Like I remember I took like a $2,000 money I saved in here. I was working. But when I go there, everybody asking me like, you came from United States, yeah? I need money. Everybody give it to me $200, $30, $200. 2 weeks, I don't have money.
So you gave, so that's a cultural thing?
That's the
If people
cultural.
ask for money and they need money, you give them money?
Yeah, because the family member coming to your house, you cannot see. That's the part of the culture, If you flew to United States or some Europe or you came from Africa, you have to give it to her like they come into you, they say, oh, I don't have this, I didn't eat today. You have to give it to her. See, those culture we don't have. We don't have in America. You know that. Give it to me $1, somebody, it will be big thing, big thanks.
Yeah, I do know. I don't know that I have the personal experience so much, but it's not uncommon for family members from my culture to ask for money, but they don't always get it. Probably Is it more likely, though, if someone asks you and you
Yeah,
have
but if
some...
they come into your house, they don't ask you, but you know what they came from to your house, why they come to your house and sit down and waiting for you.
They didn't come to hang out with you because they want to know about
You
your
know
life. They came
that.
for money.
Yeah, you know that.
They only come around for money?
Yeah, you have to feed it. Why they come to say hi, but you have to like, you came from like America, you maybe give $10, $20, but they came into your house. That's the where I grow up. Like if I go, somebody came from in UK and Europe, I visit them. I don't have anything. The first time I think about, I'm gonna tell them, hey, I don't have this. I didn't eat food. I cannot feed them. Blah blah. That person will know why you're coming to here. When he listen to you, will say, okay, wait me. Let me open my backpack and whatever I have. That person to support. Like it's very important.
So I think I don't think that's uncommon in other places in the world, but it seems like that was an automatic in that situation.
Family
for
members,
you.
especially family member coming to you to say welcome to you, to come to your house, wherever they come to you. If you, it was long time ago. Maybe the culture changing now.
Is it the same then? Like you said, your mother was, when she was in the United States, she sent money back. Now that you're here,
Yeah.
are you sending money back?
I send it sometimes. Yeah, I send them one of my aunt. If I don't send it 1 month, if I don't send it like this month, if I couldn't afford it, I will send it in next month. I always send $150.
So it's hard. Like I think a cultural thing, or at least for me, it's if you are able to make more than you need at a given time, you can save it and kind of get ahead. Is it difficult to really get ahead financially then if when you have extra money, you're giving it away often?
No, not extra money. I cannot eat food when my family member or my cousin, my close family member live in Africa and they don't have food. I can't slave them.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever whatever food I will do have. Maybe I will not shopping.
So you're not sending extra, you're sending money you need, and you'll just get by on even less.
Yeah, the less. If I send it, like I always put in my head, if I couldn't afford anything, I should send $100 at least.
Mm-hmm. Because $100 goes a long way, but if it's for a lot of people, it doesn't end up going as far then. So I feel like we're kind of bouncing around on different topics here,
Okay,
and I'll no, it's okay. A lot of it, all of it is interesting to me, but I see where we can turn back here. Let's finish the education topic here.
Yeah, education is very important. You don't know how happy I was.
When you were a little girl, though, you said your grandma raised you. Mm-hmm. Was it presented to you? I know some places in the world, and perhaps Somali, and you can explain. Mm-hmm. As a woman, was it important generally, culturally,
to go to school?
Go to school, it is.
Yeah, just to cook and clean.
No, that's important to cook and clean, but to go to school, is that important?
It was not important, especially my grandma. She didn't want it to go to school. She's like staying home, cooking, cleaning. She didn't see any importance in school. And then most of family member was same thing. Girls, I think the boys have to go to like most of religion school. Or it's my family. I'm not talking about all the Somalian. Everybody's different.
But then for the boys, there would be a focus on going to school.
The focus of especially my family member, the boys is number one, to go to religion school.
A religious school.
Yeah, but the girls, most of me and my cousin, my aunt, we stay home.
So at what point then, because you've expressed that you, getting an education, you realized that you wanted this at some point. When did you realize you wanted it, and did you feel far behind ever since then, or how did that play out for you?
When my country got war, 1991, we moved all the way down to Kenya, like a refugee camp. We came from like a refugee camp in Kenya. We stayed in before my mom flew in America. That's why education hit me is very important, you know.
What did you observe in the refugee camp in Kenya that made you realize this?
Yes, a lot of people go to the camp to go in a school. But my grandma always, she think about if I go there, that school, maybe I'm I'm gonna somebody kidnap. I don't know. She raised me, so she don't want it. Like every time wherever I go, she will go with me. I don't know the concern or I'm the only girl she raised me. I don't know, but I always love education, especially math. I don't know how my math come to me in my head. Like always, I love numbers. When I see two people saying like 1 + 1, I have to be interacted. I have to like the middle of that people. I don't know.
So you're
Yeah.
telling me, I think before we started to record, that you dream about math sometimes, and that is what
Yes.
that's as you got your GED. So now it's like you have your high school diploma here.
Yes.
As you begin your advanced education, you've told me it's going to be math. So
Yeah.
what do you like so much about math?
To be honest, I don't know math, when I see it, when somebody saying, I have to be like interesting. Like I was like, when I go to school for math class, if I don't solve the problem, I get a headache. I want to go home. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna dream whatever the problem the teacher give it to me. To be honest, dream like I'm solving the problem I couldn't solve in class. And then morning when I get up, I want to talk to the teacher. Hey, I found the answer. It was like, I don't know. I love numbers. I want to jump. If somebody talking math, I would love to jump. And I don't know the person. I'm sitting behind or somewhere. They're talking about math, something. I like to jump and talk to them. Oh, I love numbers. I don't know why.
Good. So you have the direction of where you want your education to go. I want to chat a little bit about the graduation ceremony, though.
Yeah.
As I watched this, and there's a few people that I had tutored. You were one of them, and you were asked to give a speech among, I think maybe there's 5 or 6 schools involved in the
Yes.
Minneapolis GED education system, and you were the representative from the school that you were going to.
Yes.
What was it like for you to speak in front of the crowd? I don't know if there's 100 people, give or take, 150. What was it like for you to go up on stage and speak? Have you ever done anything like that before?
No, it was first time. I was nervous. I was so scared. I never went to stage in my life. You know, it was first time going like 100 people in front of them, speaking, tell them my story, like tell them like how education is important to me and how I get it, how I succeed to become a graduate for GAD. The person went to school, take the test, placement, like the test of the EBE, like ESL class, and I get it. Couldn't understand. I circled every answer, and he told me, he kicked me and said, "Oh, we don't have a class for you." And now I'm graduating, getting GAD. The person told me, "I don't have a class for you." The last subject when I was taking, I went to the same school, told me, "We don't have a class for you. Maybe you will go library, maybe you will go community, but we don't have." And I asked him, like, no English, I don't know, but I'm speaking like by hand, like I'm saying in my language. Do you have a 0 class, like, or level 1, like, do you have any class like 1? And he's doing his head, no, we don't have a class. Because I did a mistake. I couldn't understand what he said to me. Like, hey, took the test, answer, circle each question 1. And I couldn't understand. And I circle A, B, C, D, all the answer.
Well, you circled the right one among.
But I circled
You also circled
all.
the wrong ones. Yeah, I know. I get. Yeah,
Yes.
because you must have not spoke almost any English at that point.
It was 7 months. I live in United States. It was 7 months.
So explain to me. I mean, I've traveled different parts of the world and been in different countries where they speak in a different language, and I realize how difficult it is to try to adapt. And I'm hoping that people I communicate with in English don't get like upset at me for trying to speak in a language that isn't the proper language there, but just doing the best I can to try to communicate. Mm-hmm. What is it like speaking? Did you speak just one language, Somali?
Yes, one language, and then tiny Arabic. And Arabic is my Quran, religion. but I never speak. I speak one language, Somali
Speak
only.
one language. So if when you arrived to this country and you didn't have someone else from your country that could possibly interpret for you, those moments in like that where you're in a situation where you had
Yes,
nobody,
it,
what's that like trying to communicate?
it was like that day. One lady, Somali lady, with me. I thought she speak English better than me, but she don't know English. She didn't tell me when I was going to the school and tell her, hey, I'm gonna take tests today and see. I need to go to English classes. And she told me, oh, I know. Let's go. When we went, when the guy talking to me say no, I say asked her, hey, could you translate what he's saying? And she couldn't say nothing. She could honest me the beginning and tell me, hey, I don't know English, I will understand. But I never understand anything. I know, I understand he's like shaking his head, no. And I left. I should go find like a Somali interpreter to come to me and tell me, hey, can you I feel shame. I feel shame. I was scared. I never go back to school for. It took me like 8 years.
8 years before you tried again.
Yep. That 8 years I was doing like cleaning job. Cleaning job.
Mm-hmm.
One of my neighbor offered me a part-time job for cleaning. So when I go start cleaning job, my supervisor communicate me by hand, like then I get a like understanding. Wherever they see me, I will understand. I cannot speak clearly, but I could understand what he say. Do this. You clean this. You clean your finger. I could understand. It took me 8 years. It was 2001 in July when I took the first test, and I go back to 2008, the ending of 2008. It took me 8 years.
And you might have gone back sooner, but the experience was so bad showing up and trying to get help and not getting help that you were ashamed to even try again?
No, I was ashamed. I was so scared. I said, I will never go back to school again, because the day he told me, I don't have any school, I don't have any class for you. I feel like I'm the dumb. I don't know anything. So it took me 8 years to go back to school and take the test I took 8 years ago, and I failed. So when I go back to him and he give it to me the test, this time I have understanding, a little bit understanding. Do this, I'm like, maybe I cannot say grammar correctly, but I can understand. So when
you knew what words meant, even though you couldn't, you didn't speak English still, but you
can understand.
You would observe words and
yes.
know what their meaning. Okay.
Yep. When I go back to him, I finished 25 minutes. I go back to him and he told me, oh, you're level 3. And I couldn't believe it. How I get a level 3? He put me level 3. So I started level 3. 1 month later, they took me test. They put me level 4. And then 2 months later, they put me level 5. I was shocked. And they give me a award. Yeah, somebody moving quickly, they have to give an award. I remember they bring all the students, like they give every teacher, one student have to be a sticker and their name. One of the name is me. So they give me a sticker, and then graduation, like a big room. Everybody come, they call their name. I get a band. They give me a band. They say, oh, you took test a couple of months, you listen, get a good score. You jump here to here.
So you went from, in a matter of really a few months, showing up shameful and trying again to
yes.
feeling proud of yourself.
Yep.
In that way, in education for the first time.
Yep. That time I say, oh, I'm proud of myself. So I say, oh, this is a good. So I moved to Minneapolis 1 year later. So then moving Minneapolis, I didn't quit school. I still go to Southside EB, the one I graduated for GAD. So I start level 5. And then one day I remember I came home. I was working for 1 to 5. I came home to pick up my daughter for childcare. And my daughter was 4th grade. And she was struggling for math. And she couldn't understand any fraction. And I learned 2 weeks before in my school. I said, what? I learned already. I said, let me help you. All night I was helping her for her. So I proud of myself that day.
And that was the first time that you knew more than your children did.
Yeah.
Like you had, because you mentioned it the other time when was she in kindergarten?
She
and,
have to
and
ride a chicken. Yeah.
You couldn't help your kindergartner do their homework.
Yeah.
And you're going door to door to your
Door
neighbors.
to neighbor.
But so then a few years later, you're able to pass her as you
Yeah.
should. You should be ahead of her and be able to help her moving forward.
Absolutely. When I help her homework and one of the answer is wrong, it's totally wrong. And then we couldn't solve. I said, this is wrong. He should never do it. I went to school that day. I drove her. She never ride a bus. I said, I'm going to go to the teacher and tell him this is wrong.
Oh, so the teacher
made a
mistake. And
yep.
so now you knew more than the teacher, at least for the first time.
I go all the way down to the school. And I talked to the teacher. I said, this answer is not this one. It should be this one. He said, right. I did a mistake. So that day, I said that I'm proud of myself. Look at.
And it is, I'd imagine it's you feeling proud these different times that kept you motivated, to kept going and to get to the point you are now.
Yeah.
And to keep going from here.
Yep. That day, after that, I never quit one day. Always I put school number one. Like whatever job I get it, I put a 1 to 5. If I don't find a job, whatever cleaning, whatever home care job, whatever job I get, I will say morning in my school. 8:30 to 12:30, I'm not working any job. I don't care if I'm not hungry, if I can feed my kid. I want to work 1 to 5 or evening.
So you could go to school every day for 4 hours.
Every day, yep.
I think I have a pretty good sense then, and someone listening, of your educational path and how difficult it was to how you were able to really make progress quickly. So I guess the one question, just to put it in years, how many years then did it take you from really knowing nothing, or I guess not knowing, showing up that first time, realizing that you actually knew more than you thought you did, to graduate? It was,
I think in 9 years.
9 years. So you
9 years.
So you went through a 12-year American elementary and high school education in 9 years. Once you got going.
It's 9 years. It took me 9 years, but the GAD, you don't know, it took me 3 years. Like starting ELL 3 until I'm finished like levels, because the system in EBE, second language work in Minnesota, is you have to finish ESL before you move to GAD.
So you were learning English
second language
as a second language, but you're also learning some of these subjects while learning the English?
You're not learning, you're learning the basic, grammar, how to read, how to write. You're not learning any history until you graduate for ESL.
Okay.
So I graduated for ESL 2016, June 4th.
And started your GED shortly thereafter.
Yep. When I start for the GED, when I graduated for ELL, I start GED 3 months later, the fall.
So then at that point, you're kind of going back and doing some like elementary level education.
I have to start elementary school, history.
So you got once you learn English, you basically got the knowledge.
4 years for high school.
4 years for everything.
Yep.
Well, that's impressive. It seems impressive.
Yep. Yeah, so you have to learn 4 years, but sometimes the people took 10 years, 5 years. Mine, when I finished ELL to start GAD, I feel like, I can do it. I have to read. I have to go library. I have to go school every single day. If I don't understand, I will ask the teacher. At the same time, my daughter is going high school. So whatever she's learning, I'm learning. So I couldn't understand. I will come back to her and ask her, hey, mommy, I did this lesson today. Oh, I did day before. And then we have to work together as a team.
That was probably pretty cool, though. You had a steady partner and you're at about the same point.
Yep. If I don't understand, I will come to her. She will explain to me, because I love history. When I get a history like the war, like the slave, I was interested. So I have to come to her. She will explain to me. She want to go to the library and bring a book. So that's started me. Like me and my dad have become a partner. She's going high school and I'm starting GAD. That's why when she was 9th grade, I passed the first subject for science. I remember when I passed in first subject for GAD, I was 9 months pregnant. My due date close to 2 weeks. So I took it. I passed it, and then when I delivered the baby, I never quit. 6 weeks later, I came back to school. And everybody looked at me, are you crazy? Why you want to stay the baby? I said, no, this is my new beginning. Look, you know, my Somali language, they saying like, you know, like, if you don't have any education, you're like applying, like you cannot see anything. Somebody hold you all the time. So I say, this is my new beginning, you know. My eyes is open. I'm fresh, you know. So I took the second test, couple of months. I put it like a calendar. I mark like, hey, if I pass this subject now, 2 months from now, I have to pass this subject. 3 months. So I do a plan. So when I came back, I passed the science. I passed the social study. And then I said, let me work math. I enjoy. I forgot about English, everything. So I have to go 2 classes math at the same time. So when I finish this class, I have to go to the other class. Then I pass the third subject. But I struggle for the English. So I have the language art. It was the hardest thing when I met you in 2017, November.
Was it? Wow,
I remember the day.
Wow. Must be important.
Yeah, that's very important. Yep, I remember the day I met you. That's why I never said I will get my GAD when I struggle for the language. I say, oh, I'm not quitting. I have to keep going, keep going.
Okay, so that was the English is what I worked with you on.
Yes.
And then I remember because I would read. It'd be a 4 or 5 or 6 paragraph story, or maybe it's a story, or maybe it's something factual that had to do with whatever it had to do with. And
then multiple choice.
I would read the whole article for you, and then you would read it back to me.
And then I will have to answer the question. They will ask you 4 or 5 questions, but it was trick question.
It's a trick question. I don't know.
It was hard. It was hard for me. It was because sometimes maybe the language, they will not ask you like a simple question. Maybe they twist the word in upside down. So sometimes you don't know what they ask you. So it will confuse for me. I remember. And then I moved to Brooklyn Center. So, and I didn't quit one day.
Yeah, I think we worked together. Maybe it was
couple
like
of
five,
months,
6 weeks. Mostly every time I was there, you were there. We worked together, and then for the most part after that, I didn't see you for a long time.
Yeah.
How was I as a tutor?
You're the best. When you go to vacation, you make me heartbroken.
I was going on more vacations back then.
You go in more vacation, and I feel like I lost it. That's why I decided, hey, I'm gonna change it. Because one tutor, he will stay you and you enjoy them, and then next day he's gone, and then you don't have any tutor. I say no, I don't want to waste my time. So I go back to school, a different school for like Montreal, EBE in Bloomington. So I decided to, like, I'm not getting GAD anymore. I know.
I remember that you were close to giving up, weren't you?
Yeah, when
you couldn't pass the English. You couldn't.
You're
struggling so much.
The mistake I did, I never took the test. I never took the language art. Like, I never tried by myself
to see how close you were.
Yes, I never did that. I listened the people. I listened my classmate. I listened my classmate what they say. Hey, I fell 10 times. 5 times. I say, I was so scared. I never took like a Hodan, go to GAD.com and like register.
What happened the first time you took it?
So what happened? I went to Southside EBE Bloomington to get a state diploma. They will give you like GAD or state diploma. So I tried, maybe I can take state diploma. I went to the school and they told me, oh, you passed 3 subjects. Oh, it's good. We will make you portfolio. Like wherever you pass, we will take you, put portfolio, and then the requirement for the state you have to fill. And he gave me a big list, like maybe it will take you 9 months, 10 months, 11 months to graduate, but you have to fill those requirements.
Do other requirements instead of passing the test.
Yes. And then I look and I say, okay, I can do it maybe. I'm going to take 5 classes a day. So I went to the school, and then when I go to until I went to at least 5 months, 6 months, I moved to Brooklyn Center. When I moved to Brooklyn Center, I couldn't go back. It was 23-minute driving. So I look close to my area and I see a school close to me, 5-minute driving, but they have a state diploma program. So I went to them, I sit down with them, I say, hey, I already do some of the requirements, almost 5 months. Could you check me? Could I call the school? They can transfer me to the school, whatever I did. And they say, fine, we can do that. Maybe it took you 6 months again. I already did 5 months. They say 6 months. Okay. When I called the school, whatever class I took it, they send it to me email, and then I give it to the school, and they told me, oh, that's not state diploma requirement. That is the Bloomington. That's the adult Bloomington requirement. The state is different. This is they created. The Bloomington Public School created. I was shocked. What about 5 months, whatever? Oh, you have to start again.
So then you decided to go for your GED again?
Yes, I told him, okay, I'm going to start again. Yeah, what can I do? Let me try GED. So I went, and the first time I couldn't read anything, like I black out. You know, when you open the computer, you can see, but your brain reading something different. When I see the story, everything, and the Bible in my head, oh, English is your second language, you cannot pass it, and your friend didn't pass, that guy didn't pass, that guy, you know?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of just negative talk
yeah, it's
in your head. From people and in your head then?
Yep. I don't have any positive. Everything is negative. I fail it. I get a 130, 132 something.
132, you need like 145, is it?
Yes, we have to get a 145. So I came back, and then I said, let me try again. Don't listen to anybody. I sit down one of my teachers. I say, hey, when I was taking the test, I get a blackout. What can I do? I get a nervous, I'm scared. And he give me like, okay, hold on, let me help you. I know you're smart, you can do it. Let me talk to somebody. Maybe I will bring it to you, a paper like anxiety, like how to control anxiety when you're taking the test. So he bring a big sheet, like when you're taking the test, you do this, breathe, calm down. You know, if you don't pass this time, you will pass another day. You know, it make me like, I feel like I am like I can do it. When I read it, the paper, I read it, and then I say, oh, maybe that technique, the doctor, I don't know how he get the paper, or maybe he Googled something. I read it when I'm done. I say, oh, that technique, they told me, let me do it, that technique. I'm gonna breathe. I say, okay, if I don't pass this, I will pass next time. And I did. I took the test and I failed. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel like the mistake I did that day. When I took the test, I come home. When you come home, you have to wait the result. Sometimes it take hour. Sometimes it take 24 hours to get the result, to get it like email. I didn't get an email like when I was like maybe 5 hour sitting. So why I didn't get an email? Maybe I failed. I opened the website to check with my email and password. What I see? Green. What is that meaning? Like you passed. That was like you passed. It's not the real one. It was
a practice test, but you knew that you could now pass. You'd be able to pass it.
Yes, but I took practice test a couple of weeks from that day, and I get 150. So when I opened, I didn't look. I see the green like you pass. I didn't look. Is it practice one or real one? I feel like I'm gonna get a heaven. Like I yell like my kid. I call them. They come to me. I give a hug. I give hug, and I never give hug. They say, Mom, you never give hug the way you give hug. Like I feel like something is my. And then I look at it again. It's a practice test, and I feel shocked. It's not a real one.
So you're excited like you passed the real test,
but
for the practice test. But that was still important. It proved to you that you knew that you could do it. That
yes,
you were prepared to do it.
Yep, it was a practice test. Couple of hours. I get an email, and then I look and I fail. And I say, oh no, it's okay. This time I can do it. If I'm doing the practice good, I'm close to.
Yeah.
So I put it. I didn't talk to the teacher. He was putting me together like a diploma still. Like, hold on, come sit down with me. You have to write and write an assignment. To do this, do that. I didn't put in my head. I say, okay, put it 3 weeks from now. I can do it. So every night I sleep maybe 1 o'clock, 1:30, reading and doing online classes. I scheduled January 7. I took the test. I breathe. I calm down. Same school. They kicked me out. Like, we don't have a class for you. I went the same school to take the test. So when I took the test that day, I passed. But it took me 24 hours to get the result. So I didn't get the result. I didn't worry about. I didn't get the email. I didn't open. I go to work morning, 9 o'clock. When I'm working, one of my coworkers asked me, hey, did you pass? I said, I don't know. Let me check it. I check it and I see it. I passed. And then I was so happy.
Hugging everybody again?
Not this time. When I said, give a high five. Giving high five everybody. Come on. I send a text in my message to my daughter. She said, I passed. And she said, Mom, I'm proud of you. And then my daughter is graduating in June 4.
From high school?
From high school. Sorry, about June 6 in high school.
That's great. So you were able to graduate just ahead of her.
At the same time.
Basically the same time, yes.
Yep. So
That's really
how
cool.
happy is. So, yeah, finally I did it. Because without high school diploma, you cannot get in a good job. Every job I apply, I remember I have to apply maybe cleaning, they will accept with that. But like a job, like a child care or like sometimes the BCA, working like home care, they will ask you a high school diploma.
So if you're like a cleaning job where maybe you're not interacting with other people, you could get that. But to actually
getting like in a good job, you have to have high school diploma.
Yeah.
So
okay, so let's switch over. There's so much more that I want to learn more about you and have the audience an opportunity to understand you. So let's put the education aside for now. What are some of the other things that you experienced coming from Somalia around the year you said 2000? You've been here 19 years. What are some of the things that stand out as like big learning lessons that people that have never lived a life anywhere resembling yours, people from this country that don't know someone from your country, what are some of the things that you've experienced that you wish people knew?
Yeah, I talk about children. I don't know the people. Like the children, they don't know that, especially in my kid, if I talk about it, like some of the thing the people had here, like, for example, like you cooking a lot of food and you dumping,
Like the wasted food in this country.
Food.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. If you go back to where I come from, some people, they struggling how to find that food I'm wasting. Or somebody will go to the store and buying a name, like maybe Nike. Oh, I'm going to buy like 200, 300. This is just a name.
For a Nike
brand.
or some other brand, yes.
Yeah, but that money, some people will feed 5 months, 6 months.
And people here, you find they just don't understand how good we have it.
Yeah, you have to say thank you wherever you had it. Some people don't have it.
And so does that bother you that...
It bothered to me, especially when one of my kids told me I'm American. Like this, we cannot eat, we cannot do this, I have to teach them, hey, some people don't have it. Like if I'm buying you brand new shoes and told me, hey, buy me this brand name, like this expensive 300. I say, oh, I cannot afford it. Why not? They should say thank you. Yeah. Whatever we had here, some people don't have it.
Your children have grown up and are growing up with the culture that you bring, and I know your husband has a different culture, and the children are the American influence and all of that.
Yeah.
So besides that, like there may be consumerism ideals that they're getting because they're around other children that are much more consumeristic than you would ever have been where you're coming from. What other cultural things that you see in your children? What do you like that they have, and maybe some things that you don't like? I like
it. I like what they have, but sometimes I don't like. I want to be like travel with them, and see them where I grow up and learn them. And when they come back to here, I say thank you. You know, yeah. Some of the children, they don't have a no thank you for the mother and dad, both of them. They don't care whatever you get it. But growing up over there with respect for the parent, you know, here I see a lot of parents, their kid don't respect it.
And do you think, is that an American cultural influence?
I hope so. Yeah, I thought it's American culture. You cannot say no, your parent. If they say parent, hey, Curt, get up. You have to get up. You cannot say what?
I don't know. Yeah, I probably didn't always get up right away. I was pretty slow.
Yeah, you have to get up. Something I see I never seen in my home country is when the parent be old. I see some of the parents, why they put a home care. Why you cannot take care of your mom? Like, put in your own house. She have to live with you.
Yeah, you're not sending your parents away to
No.
pay huge money to have someone else take care of them. You take care of your family.
No,
in
you
your
have
culture.
to take care of them until she died.
And that's just a part of life.
Yeah.
The parents and the grandparents raise the kids, and then when they're too old to take care of themselves, and unhealthy to take care of themselves, and the kids have to
Now
take
I'm
care.
worried about when I become old, they put me in home care.
Oh, because your kids won't have that experience.
I'm
No?
scared. Yeah, that's so bad. Isn't it good?
You're still young though, so we don't have to worry about that for a long time.
Really? Time is coming. Time is fast.
Okay, that seems fast. What else? So I guess we've talked about this a little bit before the recording. You have now your youngest child is how old?
2.5.
2.5. So you have some ambitions and aspirations in addition to your education of doing some things, but you do have 5 children, 4 of them that'll still be in the school system or younger. Like, you know, I guess your oldest daughter
Is 17.
she'll be at least an adult pretty soon, so maybe some opportunities to have fewer kids at home some of the time. I don't know exactly how that's going to go for you, but what are some of the things that you want to do besides education now that you are educated in a way that you're going to have some more opportunities? What do you want to do with your life?
Oh, I'm still have 2 babies, like 4 and 2.5. Still young, but I'm waiting to go back to like one day, like maybe soon, to go to college. I don't know what I'm gonna be. Maybe math teacher one day. You never know. And helping my own community, the people struggling. But now, I'm just going to work and take care of the kid.
So that is an ambition or a drive for you, is to help other people from the Somali community to get other people, bring them up to the level that you've been able to bring yourself to?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you see, like, looking at maybe the people or maybe the women around?
Especially the woman. I don't want to talk about that like a different subject, but I always love helping people, especially my own community. Like the people come to United States like and brand new and don't know English. I always love helping. Like I see a lot of women. I met them like in a shopping center or the Somali mall. One woman I met her, she was doing like I don't want to talk about like different topic. She's doing henna. She's getting married. She came from Africa, and her husband brought here. And then she said, "Oh, I'm getting married." And then how long you live here? She said 1 month. I told her the first thing, go to school. Oh, I want to go to work. I need to find it. I say, money, nothing happen. You will get money. Your husband, he take care of you, everything, the financial. Yes, I say, go to school. And I give the name of the school I was going at that time. So always I would love to help in my own community, the people new to the country, don't know anything about it. Yeah, I always, if I see somebody struggling, like communication, the way when I came to United States, like they don't understand what the other person say. Whatever I had, I have to put it down and then go there and help with and translate it for them.
So there was a time though where you didn't understand. You needed someone to translate for you. Now, since you've been able to know English, I'm curious about the interactions that you have with people that have always been from here? Is it mostly positive? Is it neutral? Is it negative? Like how does the average white person interact with you? Because you wear the hijab, you're clearly from a different place.
Yes, I didn't see a lot of negative people like wearing hijab, like don't speak like it's like 50-50. Sometimes you will see somebody and they will ignore you, especially when you don't speak English very well. Most of them they will ignore you and he will do like I don't understand you and shake the head or walk away for you if you need help. Like for example, if you come to me something like to asking a question and then I'm not the like English and English speaking English correctly, maybe he will whatever he will answer to me, maybe he will ignore me. Maybe somebody behind me, she's a white, can speak English clearly, he will like react in different way he did to me. I feel sometimes.
Is that common or just a few bad experiences?
It's a few bad experience. I see it. Yeah.
I want to hear about some good stories. Did you ever get surprised by how you don't feel like you're treated any differently?
No, I didn't. No. In my workplace, everything is equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was most of the time.
It's nice. Yeah. It's especially most of them is super. I never get it treated bad in my workplace. No. Work, shopping, I never get it treated bad thing.
Good.
Yeah.
So I suppose if you're not having bad experiences, I don't know how well you could speak to this, but there are definitely people that would be racist against you. I know that it exists.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't see.
But so whether it's you or people
Somebody
from your country, so I think there's people that would say, stay in your own country. Why do people from other countries have to come to this country, our country, or something like that? That exists.
Oh, okay. It didn't happen to me, but my husband happened to me.
So what would you say that someone might not understand about someone like you that's come from a different country that
I live with here.
That's come here to make a life in a new country? What do you think they're missing? What would they not understand about your upbringing and your path here?
Yeah, what they missing, you have to like you came from. Don't judge anybody. I think is what they missing is, to be honest, this country have an opportunity, like whatever, like education or job. We had big opportunity in here, but coming here, I think it is good to learn different culture. Now, I'm not learning just like a Somali or Muslim only. I have a lot of friends born here. Before I thought I will never had a friend came from different country or different color or different culture. At the same time, we are human. We came from, I don't know, it's one God. So,
and we are all human, and I think some people miss that. But maybe, and I think in a lot of ways, maybe it is a lot of the people from this country have some sort of Christian background, culture, which even though there's a lot of different denominations within the Christian faith, people can relate to those people. Even me, even though I'm not someone that believes at this point, I still grew up in that culture, so it's very relatable. But for someone like you that comes from it's a religion that's different. Those religions are related in some ways, but it is still the practices and the way of being is quite different. So you're suggesting that
they have to come together. They have to learn each other. That's the most important here. Is like don't judge anybody's religion, whatever his belief, he believe. Just be friend and listen them. Become like, be honest. Like don't judge. Like, hey, this guy, his Christianity, he's not coming to my ear. Just to know each other, learn each other, and to become one day you will understand. But educate yourself first before you interact with other people. It's very important to educate yourself.
what can you tell me about your religion and how it affects your life that the average American Christian raised person you think is not understanding? What can you tell someone about your faith and your way of life that you'd imagine they wouldn't understand, that it's important to you?
It is important to me is they have to, like, when you, some Christian, they have to come like a Muslim people, like maybe go there, the community, or maybe one day go to the like a masjid and then maybe talk to the imam, or you can buy the Quran, have English, translated in English, and read them. When you read them and go to the like some of the and imam, sometimes they go to church too. I see the TV one day.
With the interfaith.
Yes. So go there, like maybe learn more about it. Like whatever negative, maybe you will learn and you will understand.
Maybe for my understanding better and listeners' understanding better, explain a few of the practices of a religion that are different than Christianity that might be helpful. So, like we mentioned briefly, the hijab. What is the meaning of it? Why do you wear it?
Oh, that's the part of the culture and the religion. You cannot. To be honest, when I was young, before my country war, and mom wear a hijab, but the youngest kid, when I was young, I never wear this one.
So as a small child, you didn't wear it.
Yes, you will wear until 18 years old. But after my country got a war, everything is changing as a religion. You know, everything changed. So here, wearing hijab is the part of our religion. We cannot take it off. Is gonna punish. Yeah.
And that's the Somali influence within the Muslim religion. Because there are other people that are practicing Muslims that the women that wouldn't wear it, don't feel the need to wear it. But where you are from, that is important. Yeah,
it's back home. You cannot take it off this one. No, back home and here is different. Here I see a lot of our people, they don't wear hijab and they don't wear a scarf. They wear the American clothes, like the modern. But going back to over there, I don't think so. It's a Muslim country. You cannot see anybody cannot wear without hijab.
So you wouldn't do it, but if you were in Somalia and for whatever reason you were compelled to not wear it, what would happen to you? What would?
Oh my! It would be punished. I remember a couple of years ago. No, it's a couple of years before I came to United States. I went to travel one time and go there over there, and then two women I didn't see it when the action happened, but a friend of mine was there. Two women came from Djibouti. They're not wearing for the scarf. They were in a long shirt. And the people came to me and do like what they say, stone.
They threw stones at them?
Yeah, they threw stone at them. Everybody came. It was a small market. So two women run to the store, like a jewelry store. And the jewelry store, the guy have to protect them, the woman so to bring a gun to do like, get out, everybody move. Whatever you see, the gun get up and kill one person. That woman, they will die that day if he didn't help that guy.
So clearly very important.
Very important.
To wear it. So
I cannot wear the scarf I'm wearing. It's very small. If I go back to my home country,
you need to have a bigger one.
I want to be bigger one. Or maybe cover the face.
Okay. So, and tell me if this is a question I shouldn't be asking. When do you not wear it? Like,
in home.
So when you get in your house with your family.
When I'm home, my family, like my husband, my kid, my children, I don't wear that.
So
I
it's
take
when
it
you
off
leave the home.
when I'm leave the
Okay.
home. But if you visiting in my house, knock me my door, I have to wear.
So I would never see you without it because
No,
I'm not a part of your
never.
family,
No.
even if I was in your home.
No, if you live with me, always I have to wear.
So if I move in, you have to wear it all the time. So you're
Yes.
probably not going to let me move in.
No,
Not enough space.
no, no.
Okay.
No.
See, I guess I'm asking because I didn't quite understand that.
Yes. You the hair scarf you will take it off when you're home. You will relax your husband and your family. But if my cousin visit me, I have to cover.
So it'd be your close family. You don't wear
Is
it.
a woman is okay, but is
Just
a
women.
man? No, he cannot see me in my hair.
So if I was a woman and visited and only women were there, would you wear it?
It's okay
Then it's
for
okay.
me. It's okay for me. I cannot.
But if a man that you're not close with is
No.
around you, then that is
I have to cover.
okay.
I have to say with me, like I have to cover.
Okay.
Yeah. That's if a woman I can enjoy with them, but if I'm going outside in my patio, I have to cover.
Okay. Yeah, I understand better now than I did before.
Yes.
What else? So I asked, what is it like answering that question from me?
Is a simple. Is a simple question. Everybody have to know. Yeah. It's
'Cause-
not hard for me to answer that
Yeah.
question.
Are there other things about your life that you think someone like me? What else am I missing? Like, I mean, you've been in this country for a long time, so I'm sure you've been influenced by American ways quite a bit. But imagine coming to this country the first time, or in those early years, it was kind of a shock to like see so much around you that is so different than
Yes.
the way you were raised.
Yeah, it was the beginning. It was like if you see me like 10 years ago, I will never be same the way I am. I would never friend anybody for outside like different culture or different background. Now my life changed.
You wouldn't do an interview with a white American guy?
No, I want to say thank you now.
No thanks.
Yep.
So okay, so why today? Why today? So I proposed this to you just recently. Why are you doing this?
Now, what I'm doing is I saw a lot of friends, especially beautiful, like one of like, especially is my teacher become good friend, helping me to succeed. You helping me like almost how many months? It's a 5-7 months every single day reading a book. Like sometimes you like so you came from work, you coming to me and helping me like reading book, like show me how to answer the question, show me what the trick question is. Like it's super nice people is here. Like a lot of nice people like you.
So you're not doing this because you desire to like tell your story. You're doing it as a favor back to me for.
No, it's not a favor back to me. No, I'm not doing favor like.
Okay, I'm just because the way you turned it,
I'm
I'm
not
just trying to
doing-
understand.
Like if I didn't know you, because I don't know you, but I know long time ago I met you. You came to me my graduation, and you asking me. I have to like I wanna listen. Some people don't know any culture have to listen what I'm saying, where I came from, like the life the life I have in back home, the life I have. Some people don't know any life. Just that they born here, they never went to outside of the United States. Yeah.
And that's just spending some time with you,
Yes.
learning the things I learned prior to today. Just I know there's a lot of, because I didn't have that experience for the first time until a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Like actually spending close space with someone, a woman from your country, and asking questions. I'm realizing it's probably basically everyone else, not basically everyone else in my life, but a lot of people in my life have never done that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's something they have ever thought about, but you just knowing you, I don't think it changed my perception a lot, but until
Thank
you
you.
know someone from
Yes.
some other place until you
Yes.
actually talk with someone. You can't really understand anyone from that place.
No, you can until you sit down, be talk, and become friend. Now you learn a lot. Now if you go outside and learn Somali language, you cannot say to me, "Hey, why do you don't wear this hijab? Why you covering your head?" You already know the basic. Why she's covering the hair?
Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever really concerned myself with that,
Really?
but I think it is.
Some of the people will ask you. I found many people asking, why do you want to wear this? Why you cover the hair? So you have to explain. But some people always say, oh, we know that. And then when, for example, today is a fasting day, it's Ramadan. And then if they tell you, hey, can you drink? I say, no, I'm not drinking, I'm fasting. Oh, I'm not drinking. When you say, oh, are you fasting? It's Ramadan. They know.
Just one less question you have to answer when more people understand
Yeah.
aspects of your religion and your culture, I guess. It's culture and religion, I
Yes,
suppose.
absolutely.
Because other people practice your religion differently than
Yes.
your people from your country.
Yeah. I remember a couple of weeks ago, one of guy came to me in my work where I work. And then he brought his son, and then he is speaking in my own language, Somali language, like not English.
And where was this person from?
Here, he's a
from the United
white.
States. Okay, a white guy speaking Somali. Was that the first time you'd experienced that?
Yes, one of my coworker, whatever he said to me, I answered for him, and then she looked at me and he said, "What language they speaking? These two people like." And then I asked him, "How do you learn?" He said, "I work public school, and I learned my friend."
Oh, wow.
It was so amazing to me. Yeah, better than how he's speaking like super clearly in my own language.
Knowing that he's going to interact with children that aren't going to speak English very well, and he wants to best
Yes.
understand them and
Yeah.
help them learn.
Yeah.
That's really great. Do you have any questions for me? I've been asking all the questions.
But I have to ask you one question. Why you didn't believe for God? Like the reason you didn't give me the reason why you don't believe nothing. No one watched me. You told me a couple of minutes ago.
Okay, so yeah, Hodan, you're curious about my lack of belief in God because that's
Yeah.
something we had talked about
Yes.
previously and
Yes.
then briefly before we
Before
record
we
it.
recorded.
Yeah, it's come out in the podcast.
I need to see the book. You read it and then tell you
Well,
don't buy it.
Well, I think I consider myself to be an agnostic, which is someone that I didn't know. I wasn't saying yes or no.
Okay.
And then I read the book, The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. And by the time I finished reading that, I started to use the word atheist for the first time, which was I was afraid to tell anyone.
Really?
It was really a scary transition because I know a lot of people.
Will it scare you and run you? What about if you tell that some people what they want to do?
Just people, I felt judgment.
Okay.
People would judge me for what I believe or don't believe, in part because, and maybe this is relatable to you, maybe not, because I don't think they understand me.
Okay.
And then and just like people from this country might not understand you or your
Yes.
religion, and some people might judge it negatively because it's different. They don't get it. And I feel probably somewhat similar, like I'm doing something different than most of the people around me. And I think I'm correct in my thinking. Like it's very much, it's not very emotional. It's just very logical, using the knowledge that I have through science and what I've learned and the history of religion that I understand. I simply just don't believe any of it to be true. I think there's a lot of stories, a lot of positive influences. Aspects of the stories may be true, but I just don't at this point think that
You
to the core of it, to God, God's impact, God's relationship with the human beings, like that part of it, I don't see that as being true. I don't believe it to be true. I'm not saying it's not true.
Okay.
I'm saying I have no belief that it's true.
So how she feel your mom and dad when you tell them?
They don't like it.
Really? They
And-
support you? The beginning.
I don't. Most people in my family don't.
Okay.
Some are more okay than others. Some are willing to like have discussions about it. But in general,
Okay. It's
Yeah.
a lot of negative.
a lot of people close to me don't agree with me, and
Okay.
you just kind of stay away from that topic, and probably don't like that I'm even talk about it at all. But it's
What is
one of
it?
the reasons that I had this podcast. It's kind of the people that have influenced me. There's been people that have influenced my faith or lack of faith, I guess.
Okay.
And you're a person that's influenced me on understanding someone
Yeah.
from a particular culture and of a different faith. And that's why I want to have these conversations, because every person that you meet has the potential to bring about their story, their experience, their ideas, what they've learned,
Yeah.
and share that with you. And what you do with it, it's up to you.
Yes.
And some people will share things that aren't true. And sometimes it's hard to know what's true.
What's wrong? What is not? Okay.
We don't really always know what's true, but we do listen to some people based on what they say, and we take what they say as truth, whether or not it's true. And it's sometimes we'll never know. Like when it comes down to the story about God and how God exists and how that whole thing comes together, neither one of us is ever going to know for certain exactly. We grew up with different books that were describing this,
Yes.
that were telling a different story that was similar in some ways and that was dissimilar in other ways. And I didn't spend a lot of time with that book, the Bible, and you shared
It's
a
a
little
Quran.
bit
Yeah,
that with the
Quran.
Quran you spent in parts of your life more time and sometimes not that much time with it. But we subscribe to these faiths that are based on these books, or at least it seems to be. And I just don't know that a lot of people learn from the book, and if the book is even true, and then the people that are telling you what's in the book, if they're even explaining it right and they're skipping all kinds of parts of it,
You never
the
know.
whole thing is. I stepped back many years ago, and after a long journey, I came to the conclusion that I just don't believe it, and I can live a very good, positive life without it. Whether or not I'm right or wrong, I don't think it matters. No one else has to agree with me.
Yep,
That's
no
just
one.
my honest truth, and
Yes.
the important thing is there was a time where I was afraid to tell people about it, and that's no way to live. To hold something inside of you, feel like this is true for me, but I can't tell people because they're going to judge me, and I'm going to be the oddball. I'm going to be the bad person. That's also no way to live. So did I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you. But when you told me the beginning, when like 2 years ago, I didn't judge you.
No, you didn't.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And what I haven't done a lot of yet, like I haven't gotten to know someone from the Hindi religion very well. And there's other somewhat major religions in the world, like, let's see, what am I, Buddhists. I haven't spent a lot of time with Buddhism. I don't really know what
But
those.
travel for India and you will learn.
I've learned a little bit about these people and what they believe, but I don't really know.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
didn't know anyone that has your faith until recent years. And how can I really know my own faith if I
Yeah.
had one, if I don't know what other people believe? There's 2 billion people on the planet that believe something totally different than most of the people that grow up here.
That's
And we just assume that they're wrong and,
You never
and we're
know.
right. And it's just the whole thing to me is just, it's kind of illogical. And I because I'm so rational, I step away from it and just think, yeah, it's probably, to me, none of it's probably true. Maybe some of it is, probably not. And I'm okay with that.
good. Thank you. You answered my question.
Okay. No more questions for me?
No, I'm done.
Okay. So let's transition into the personal growth segment. We've talked about your education and I guess just getting through that and becoming, I think, by meeting new people in this country and people from different backgrounds, I'd imagine that's impacted you. Is there something that we haven't talked about yet that's a part of your growth to be who you are today through your journey, first 20 or so years in mostly Somalia and a little bit in Kenya, and then the last 20 or so years here? What is that? What else have you learned, or what have you maybe recently? What are you really focusing on getting better at? What's important to you?
What is important to me is making new friends, new culture, new people. That's the most important thing is like meeting new people and new culture make me a better person who I am today. Yeah. Especially my husband. We are different culture, but we are different background, but we are same culture now. But he came from different and I came from different, but maybe north and west. But that's the most important thing is making new friends and new cultures.
So you married to someone that, as you've expressed, didn't grow up with your religion. You share a religion now, but he's from a different country than you. And that goes into this, I'd imagine, and knowing someone like me and whoever else that you've met, making new friends from people from different places. That's
different
important.
place, different culture, and make me like a special, like make me like a welcome.
So you want to feel more welcome with more people from more places?
Yeah, like a normal, like no one judge me, like, yeah.
And so when that happens, what's that like?
It was bad when somebody judge you.
It's bad when someone...
Yeah, especially I married like a non-Somali guy, and I get at the same issue you're talking about now. Couple of minutes ago, like how they judge you if you tell them I'm this. I believe this. No God. Believe the way I marry my husband. I see a lot of my own culture people. They judge me.
So a lot of people from your country, culture, don't like that you married someone not from there.
Yep.
And I think that historically has always been a thing. And now it's very common in this country. There's so many different Americans from different, like the blendedness of the European backgrounds for most like white Caucasian Americans. It's so normalized to marry whatever background. But there was a time where you married someone from a different country, different, like a different part of European descent. That was a big deal. So you're kind of going through that now.
Yes, I have a lot of friends, but when I marry my husband, we separate those friends and those family members, those people. Like I become isolated, like by myself. Because when I introduce them, when I bring them, hey, I married this guy, we have the same religion before I marry him. And look at, no, he's not Somalian, you know.
And because of that, that's a reason to not be friends with you, for apparently.
Yeah, like they ignore me, like it bothers to me. I become like, I talk to my daughter for 17, she's 17. She understand. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago when I was driving highway. I see many people judge me all the time. That I'm a bad person. I'm a mom. I'm raising beautiful babies. I own a house. I work so hard. I get my GAD. Those people judge me. They never succeed the way I succeed, you know? And she told me, don't improve anybody. Whatever they think of, whatever they say, you're the better person.
Were you aware that you might lose some friendships when you married someone outside of your culture? And you were, I mean, you did that. You're prepared for that to happen, and it's happened.
It happened, yeah. Especially I want my best friend. When I was marrying him, I introduced for him to her. Like, I'm marrying this guy. He's a nice guy. Blah blah. She supported me in the beginning, but when she see it was serious, like getting married, have a baby, she cut me off. So,
that's too bad.
Yeah.
So through that process,
it's still in my head.
So has that made you more welcoming and wanting to learn more from more people?
Yes,
like, you felt those people were super closed off and closed-minded.
Actually, these are negative people. Let me learn different culture. Let me go around and meet new people, like I feel like a welcome the other people when I erect them, when I introduce, when they see my family, except my own families. When I told them, like, well, I married this guy, it's welcome, congratulations, you know, I'm happy for you. Yeah, but when I introduce, oh, he's not Somalian, that's bad.
And probably a generation that'll be totally okay, but you're at the part in time where it's not okay for some people, and I think that's what happens in 20 years. The things that aren't okay now become okay for pretty much everybody. And there's a few people that hold on to old ideas and think things always have to stay the same. But I think as the generations pass, these types of things aren't issues anymore, and a lot of that's happened generations ago in this country, and I'd imagine it's something that
I think 20 years from now it will change. The people will mix it, everybody.
And you're one of the people that are doing some things differently.
Yes.
You're leading the way, Hodan.
Yep. Like it bothered to me like the beginning. I feel like something like shame, Your own people, you cannot tell me this is my husband. Or my husband, he went to work and he get one of his co-worker become a Somali. And one day they're talking about, he introduced, hey, my wife is Somali. And he ignored me and ran away from me.
Really?
It was like bad. What is the difference in me and him? We have no difference. We raised in same culture. Wherever I grow, like religion, same. Everything is. I didn't see anything different for me.
So as I said at the beginning of this episode, that a new focus in making people aware that shared knowledge, ideas, and experiences influence all of us.
Yep.
I am very open to to hearing all these other things, and you seem to be at a point where you're very open. But there's some people that just aren't. They're closed to the experiences and the ideas and the knowledge of others.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a dividing line in the world. There's people that close off from it, and there's people that just want more of it. And I guess we share in the thing.
Yeah.
We have probably plenty of other things in common, but we both share in wanting more and more. And that's
the life what is.
It's now time for the Being Wrong segment. Hodan, is there something that you, looking back now on your life, something that you think you're wrong about?
Yes, something is wrong about it. I regret it is like saying like people when they ask me what's your husband is coming from. Sometimes I shame them to say them, hey, my husband he's come from Caribbean, he's come from this. Like I was like to say that I was like very scared to come to me my mouth to say that. Like sometimes like ignore them when they ask me, he's Somali. I say maybe yes. I should honest myself to say like, hey, I married this guy where he came from, like to be like, don't shame. Like I regret it at the beginning.
So as we just talked about in the personal growth segment, that because you know him and because of how other people have reacted, you've desired to like get to know more people and understand more people, but still you're wrong about feeling shame for not always telling people where he's from. He's from a country in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Nothing to you and I, that should be no big deal, but when you're talking to some people, it feels like such a big deal.
It was a big deal for me. I'm scared they will look me weird, like I'm a bad person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should honest the beginning, and tell them, hey, that's his came from, and I'm happy. Like I'm always like, I was so scared to say my mouth. Like,
but I think that's something most people go through, where there's a truth that we're okay with as a person.
Yes.
But we just think that everyone else around us isn't okay with it, so then we feel shame for our truth, and then you have all these just yucky feelings inside of us dealing with it or not dealing with it right. And
right answer.
And I think everybody probably can think of something that they either used to do that with or still are afraid to talk about. And I think your example, although specific to you, more generally, we all feel shame about talking about something. I got over that, I think, with my lack of belief.
Yeah.
And I don't feel ashamed about it anymore, but that was similar. I felt that shame.
I don't feel about shame anymore. I can say whatever I say, I'm happy. But the beginning, like the first year or second, it was so hard for me.
And now if someone doesn't want to be your friend because of that, whatever, that's their own fault. And you're not worried about losing that friendship. If they don't want to be your friend because of that.
I don't want to show them every time, my husband is this. No, I don't worry about it. If anyone friend, welcome. Not friend, I'm okay.
I think that's
I'm
a good
happy
lesson.
My family.
A good lesson for all of us too. The things that we feel shame about, but we think are true and honest and good.
Yeah.
We need to start talking about it.
Don't lie yourself. Always honest yourself. Always speak in your heart.
Be honest with yourself. Don't lie to others, and more importantly, don't lie to yourself.
Yep. Don't hold anything in you.
Hodan Nur, thank you so much for taking the time and being someone that I've gotten to know and has impacted my life. So I appreciate the conversation today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to People I Know Show. A reminder, if you're listening to the show and haven't subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe on whatever player you're listening on. And if you're not listening on a player, if you're just listening from the website, let's say, there is a link in the show notes so you can download one of the apps where you can listen to People I Know Show and click subscribe there. You can also go over to Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube by clicking on the links in the show notes and subscribe or follow or like People I Know Show on any of those platforms. Leave a comment or a review for me there. Reach out to me directly there if you'd like. Or if you prefer, you can send an email to me, Curt Carstensen, by using the email address peopleiknowshow@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.